gets back home tonight, and the clock just starts right over, and the walls come closing in, and the bathroom dips and then twirls, and your eyes get sunken in so deeply you can't recognize the face you see so easily. No one gets back home tonight.
Oh, I'm gonna burp. I'm so...
Hello, it's been a very long time, I know.
Hello.
Hello. Hi, everyone. Welcome to TransSpotting. I'm your host, Marsha Darling.
And I'm Celeste.
And I am Riv.
Yes.
Welcome back to Season 2.
Season
Finger
2.
guns and all.
The seasoning.
Season 2. The seasoning.
The seasoning.
You know what they say.
In proper fashion, I'm going to be eating throughout this podcast, so.
Yeah.
Gross.
Yeah. Cell's got the right idea.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Cell, are you still rocking? Are you going by Cell, or are you like Celeste better?
Either.
Preference?
I don't care.
Okay, cool. Cool.
Hi,
Yeah,
everybody.
we're here. We did it. It's been 6 months. It's been 6 months.
It's been 6 months.
It feels even longer than that.
I checked. It feels like longer, but yeah, I checked. It was I don't know since recording. The last time we posted an episode, it was in June. So 6. It's now 12. December 1st. 6 months.
It's perfect. That's the perfect break for a season.
I think so too. And we didn't really plan to have a season break, but it just kind of worked out when life went.
Life found a way, let me tell you.
God. Yeah, that's one way of putting it.
Do we want to do a little catch up on life?
I think that would be great.
Sure.
And then I think we should noodle on after that any topics we want to go through.
I agree.
For this episode or two.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cell, catch us up on your life.
Me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Oh, shit.
So I moved since last time. My environment is different for any and all that are seeing this. Live in a new place, which is nice. It's a big improvement. There was a 1 month gap that I didn't have. So I had to move out of my last apartment and before this one opened up. So I went and lived with my girlfriend for a month, which was super cool and super fun. Very thankful she let me do that for a month. And I've been here and life, I know, I've just been chilling. I'm now, I don't know how to do math, almost 9 months post bottom surgery at this point. Things are going mostly pretty good. Had a couple small minor complications.
Sminer, I like that.
Sminer, very sminer.
Yeah.
Sminer complication.
Yeah. Sminer. But yep, that's all going great. Life is good. And there was quite a roller coaster with post surgery. The 2 to 3 month, starting at about month 2 through about month 5, my hormones were all over the place, and I was just a crying mess every day. It was terrible.
Yeah.
So if anyone that might do that in the future, please be aware. I didn't think that was good. I've heard people talk about it, and I was like, I'll be fine. And then holy shit, that hit me like a truck.
Yeah, I bet.
I get depressed if I'm late.
I feel ya.
Late on my hormone dose by a day.
Mine's not that sensitive. I have to be late by 3 or 4 days before I start feeling it.
Wait, are you both injectable, or are any of you doing the oral route?
Injection.
Yeah, injectable.
I'm still on the oral thing. I'm thinking of switching over soon.
I like it because you don't have to do it.
It's so
every
much
day.
easier. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See, I feel like I'm worried that with my ADHD, I would forget if it's happening less frequently, I will probably forget to do it, but I just got to put it on my calendars. I live by calendars now because I'm a boss lady.
Yep. I set a reminder for my phone weekly, and I just have a rule where I won't clear the reminder until I've done it. And so sometimes it sits there for 4 days and it bothers me the entire time. That makes me do it. So
there you go.
There you go. I will be why do I feel so tired and sad? What's wrong with me? And then, I need to do my hormones.
Uh-huh.
I'm kind of worried because if I switch to injectables, I already get PMS like so bad. Like I'm currently PMSing right now and it sucks. And I'm really worried that the dip that everyone else talks about from an injectable is gonna really mess with me. But
It was a
I don't know.
lot when I switched over for about
Yeah.
a month, but then it evened back out. And I feel more consistent now than I did when I was taking it orally. So
Nice.
Cool. I didn't mean to totally jump off of what you were talking. Lights just flickered. What you were talking about, Sal. Is there any other updates you want to catch up on? Life stuff?
not really. Life has just kind of been going. It's honestly been a pretty tough 6 months. Just emotionally, just a lot of life stuff happening. But I think we're starting to even out. Things are going good.
I'm so happy for you. I'm so proud of
Yes.
you.
Thank you.
Happy designer vagina,
Yeah,
as I like to call
it's
them.
great.
It's great. It's for those who it makes sense for them for their bodies to be that way. It's a fucking game changer,
Hmm.
even though it's hard.
I like can't imagine, like, it's hard for me to remember before,
Yeah,
honestly. Like, I'll see pictures and I'm
yeah,
like, it just like doesn't click in my brain of like that
right.
doesn't make sense to me when I see old pictures of myself.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
It's
I hear that.
it's so jarring.
Yeah,
Well,
Jarring in a good way,
yeah.
actually, not in a bad way. It's just like, whoa, that's like really fucking cool.
you look so much more like yourself now.
Thank you. I feel
There you
so
go.
much more like myself. I've kind of had to like part of like the difficult part of my last 6 months is I've once I got post surgery, I suddenly was like, what do I want with my life? I didn't have to focus on like my body getting in the way, like the feelings of my body getting in the way with how I interacted
Yes.
with the world. And suddenly I had to learn how to interact with the world. And like that was my only focus. And I was like, what do I even want with life? How do I want to be? How do I want to exist? And I changed up almost every facet of my life doing that because it was just didn't feel right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
Yeah.
really happy
So
for
a lot of
you.
growing pains and all of that, but it's good.
Yeah.
It's great how
Making
finally
space.
being yourself gives you license to live.
Yeah, and like I didn't even realize how much like being like pre-surgery was holding me back. I wasn't even aware, even like post-transition, but pre-surgery. I couldn't even fathom that it was going to be that much of a difference.
Right.
And then it was.
Surprise.
Here we are, brand
Surprise,
new me,
surprise.
back and
Brand new
better than
Sal.
ever, bitches.
There you go.
So, Riv, do you have any updates with your life you want to share?
Oh, you're gonna make me. I'm gonna go next.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can go next for sure. Sal, thank you so much.
yeah, of course.
Once again, I'm so happy for you. That's so amazing. I don't think I've
Thank you.
really seen you since then, and I'm sorry that stuff's been probably tough the last 6 months, but
Thank you.
happy
I'm
you are
making
where you
it.
are now.
I persevered.
Persevered. Hey, you know what I did? What I got when I was on surgery recovery is I messaged Marcy. I was like, let's do a podcast.
Mhm.
I messaged you and I was like, let's do a podcast. And then I started writing music again. So I feel you on the whole like license to live aspect is such a like Marcia, put that on a goddamn mug or something.
Can I tell you the other one that we were thinking of putting on a sticker?
Yeah, please
I
do.
was talking with my girlfriend and we were like, lesbians are practical people. Very practical. Very people.
Very people.
Very people.
Very people.
I was thinking about so now we have to make some merch, some new merch and stickers.
Yep.
Mhm.
I was thinking about speaking of that before I go. Yeah, I know. Here I go talking so much
Rabbit
How
trail.
on a
dare you talk on
podcast.
this podcast? What are you
A
doing?
podcast. Oh my
This
god.
is a top
Um,
cast.
I was ta-
Thank you.
Sometimes.
all right. Ain't touching that one. Gonna walk over here. Um, um, so we currently have stickers for those of for those of you out there that follow us on, subscribe to our oh god, Patreon is what it's called. If you subscribe right now for free, you get all of our past content. If you are a paid subscriber, thank you for your support. You will get week in advance early access content. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And also, if you are around for long enough, you will get a free sticker sent to you, and if you provide your address and stuff to Patreon. That sticker says, it's very, very pretty, and it says, "TransSpotting, embrace trans joy." I'm going to make a variation of that one that has the joy kind of overwritten, and just going to have scrawled like rage over it. Because I think
Yes.
some of us need that variation right now. I think we're all feeling
Yep.
that.
Mhm.
But we'll get into that later. Me, what's going on with me?
Yeah, what's going on with you? Riv,
Who even are you?
what
Who
have you
even
become?
am I? Oh, I've become a boss lady, and
Hell yeah.
I my old coworker, before he quit a couple years back. I was, maybe a year and a half, 2 years into transition, and he before he left, he's like, "You're not even going to recognize yourself." I just got promoted to be a manager of a team at work, and I haven't really had that much responsibility before. And so that really shapes how you interact with things. And I've overcome a lot of my anxiety and a lot of my um, um, autistic meltdowns that can happen from certain things. Anyway, that's one aspect. But he was right. I do not recognize myself anymore, and I am a tough bitch now. And I kind of like that. I like that. I can
Good for
choose when I want to
you.
actually be a vulnerable bitch and a tough bitch, or just a regular bitch. And I can hear the Valley Girl, my voice saying "betch"
Betch.
as I'm saying it.
Batch.
Yeah. So this month, so it's right now, it's December 1st on this recording. It will not come out on December 1st. I'm not that fast at editing.
No.
But last month was officially 4 years on HRT.
Woo.
Yeah. Yes. Next month in January, officially 2 years post-op for bottom surgery. So I cannot tell you how shocked I was still after uh, a year and a half seeing stuff become less swollen. I thought I was done after the first year, and it's still like, oh, it's even prettier now. That's nice. That's great. Good job. Pat, pat.
Good
She's
job, my
doing
darling.
great.
She's doing great. Yeah. What else? What else? Oh God. New music. I'm working on it. I've redone my studio. I have better, mostly better sound treatment in the area you can't see. It's really cool. It's actually entirely foam. I'm boxed in with foam. I've got a for when I do recording for vocals soon, which I'm currently working on. It's just taking some time. I've got a little curtain rod on the ceiling. I can put a nice big heavy curtain behind me to really box me in and keep that sound. So I'm hoping to have some vocals on some of my music soon, and also some new stuff. And other than that, it's been work, work, work.
Boss lady gets
Yeah,
no breaks.
boss ladying it up. Yeah, no breaks. I've been working a lot of weekends because my staff members, unfortunately, have had some issues with their health and needed to step out and take care of themselves. And boss lady is still salaried until the end of the year, until that salary cap hits. And work, if you're listening, stop listening. But if you're still listening, give me $5,000 more a year, and I will still be salaried next year, and you won't pay me overtime. Yeah,
Well, work. You heard
that
it here
is what
first.
I've got. Yes,
Well,
and second, Marcia,
Yes.
what is going on, girl?
Dang, it's been a while.
Dang.
I moved over to Oregon, live around Portland now. I like that. It feels like it feels a little bit like a little bit of a queer utopia, and it feels like there's all the opportunities of a big city without feeling huge. So I'm really enjoying that. I like how it's a little dirty and a little weird. It fits right in my vibes. One of my friends was telling me, "You already drive a Volvo and you drink wine from a mason jar, you'll fit right in."
perfect.
And it's absolutely been true. Um, work in finance now, which has been really fun. And I've been trying to pick up some new hobbies. I ruined my foot a couple months ago, so I haven't been able to be walking around as much as I like to. Yeah. I've been really enjoying life lately. I finally feel like I'm dating successfully, and that's been really nice.
Great feeling.
Yeah, it feels great. I feel like there's a lot of like insecurities that I had, oh, even just like 6 months ago, that are kind of just like gone now, having lived as myself longer and finding more and more people who are like found family to me. And that's been really, really lovely. I feel like this has been a really interesting season for a lot of us, especially with the way politics have been going lately. There's been a lot of stress in the air for a lot of people. There's been a lot of anxiety. There's been a lot of almost, I would say, fear and uncertainty about the future for a lot of us. And I feel like I've been having some like really deep um, concerns that tend to bleed over into other parts of my life as well. But there's also been this very like profound sense of community and help and family with the people who I care about, that if that was missing, it would make this time a lot more difficult. So I feel like I'm in like a very stressful and anxious place, but I feel like these support systems that are around me and the people who care about me, um, I feel a lot more secure in who I am and the people around me than I have in times that were a lot less anxious, if that makes sense.
Very eloquently put.
So it's like, yeah, there's a lot of uncertainty about the future, there's a lot of fear, but with I feel like we're going to figure it out together the same way that people have for hundreds of thousands of years,
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
that does. Can I do a shameless plug to,
Yeah.
I guess not shameless, I guess. I mean, literally, there's no shame in this, but um, folks, if there's anyone out there that feels really um, trapped or alone with all of the recent events and the next 4 years or longer, we do have a wonderful little community. Um, is if you search on Discord for TransSpotting, you will find us TransSpotting podcast and community. We've got about 330 folks now. It's getting a little bit bigger. Um, Basically almost never talk about the podcast. We just talk to each other and support each other. And we do have some different channels in there too that if you had a certain level of interaction, you can have access to some great resources. And just generally is a good time to just support each other. And we're all in this shit together. So come on down. It's a public server. It's heavily moderated. You will be safe. We promise.
It's a public service server.
Public service server.
Public service.
I like that.
PSS.
Yeah. PSS.
PSS.
Like calling a cat.
I love you.
Thank you, Marcia. Please continue if you have more to continue.
Yes.
Marcia is currently
I've been
thinking.
trying to pick up some new.
we're we're an audio podcast too. I have to help people out here.
One of the people who I've reconnected with was a roommate of mine when I went to this cultish Bible college back when I was like 17, 18. And he's come out as queer to his family. I've come out as queer to mine. We both had very unsupportive families. So we've both kind of realized that we feel more like each other's brother and sister than a lot of our own family members do. And he lives not too far away from me, and we've been going bouldering, and it's just been really lovely to have somebody in my life that feels like family that way, I guess.
That's really cool.
That's very sweet.
Yeah. And I live in a little house. My roommates are in a hardcore ska band. They are playing in Mexico this winter,
Fucking
and
cool.
that's been so much fun. Um, some of those people in those musicians are just savants, and I'm like, can you teach me how to play the drums? And he's like, well, I don't think I'm the best person because I learned how to do it before I learned how to read.
Oh my god.
And he's like, you have to be able to keep different rhythms. So if you can clap with 3 with your hands and tap 4 with your feet on a different rhythm, start with that. And then, so I'm like trying to figure that out. But that's been really fun. I enjoy my hardcore ska boys.
It's very cool.
Other than that, I feel like life is one of those things that happens really slowly. And when you're looking back, it's happened really quickly. I feel like I have changed a lot in the last 6 months, but it doesn't feel like I've changed at all, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
That does. I feel like life moves very
Yeah.
slowly until it doesn't.
There's a famous
It moves
John
very
Green
slowly, but it
quote.
keeps moving.
There's a famous John Green quote that is, I fell in love the way that you fall asleep, slowly and then all at once. I love that quote so much. You saying that
That's
reminded it
perfect.
to me.
That's very sweet.
Yeah. So I feel like also me moving to the city has been more like I feel a lot more invisible as a trans person there, if that makes sense, which has been really nice. I've kind of just been like less focused on being trans and more focused on just being me, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I understand that perfectly. I think we'd even talked about that early in our podcast of like when I moved to Vermont, it was like suddenly that spotlight isn't on you when a lot of people are very visibly queer and trans and just anything in the spectrum. You just suddenly feel like the focus is less on you as an individual. And I love that. It's a great feeling.
It's a great feeling to kind of feel like, oh, hey, um, I'm just a queer woman walking around.
Yeah.
I don't feel so like I stand out like I'm trans so much, if that makes sense, which is kind of nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so overall, it's been a really, really lovely 6 months, and I'm really happy to be here.
Welcome
I
to the
just
new
had,
Marcia.
thank you.
Welcome.
Same as the old Marcia,
But also not.
but also not.
Yeah.
Let's see. I just had a little lunch with my biological mother and father right before I came here. So I'm in kind of a bad mood because it did not go well. It did not go well. And it's just one of those things. They're extremely religious, extremely conservative, big Trump supporters.
Yeah.
And it's hard to find a way to have any sort of common conversation with them that doesn't revolve around them telling me why they think I'm wrong.
Yeah.
That's...
Is it bad
And
that I want to bleep out the word Trump whenever we say it like it's a swear word?
no, you probably should.
I think of how funny that would be. We're probably going to talk about that in today a bit more. So imagine like every other word just
Maybe a little bit.
We got a different T slur going on here.
Hey.
So, I one of my friends does like study sociology and what's the word I'm looking for? Being prepared for the apocalypse and stuff like that. And they're always asking me if I have a go bag ready. And so we're going to work on getting a go bag ready.
Yeah.
Another thing is that where I live is overdue for an earthquake. So I need to have a go bag ready in case there's a big earthquake there too. So lots of good reasons to have a go bag. Maybe we'll have an episode where we talk about putting together a go bag.
Go back. I like that.
just remember the most important thing is I'm an hour and a half away from you, Marcia. So if you feel an earthquake, you text
Yeah.
me right away so I can be prepared for the aftershocks. Thank you.
Someone's looking out for herself.
Right?
Hey, I felt an earthquake. It might get to you in an hour and a half. Be careful.
Sounds good. Thanks. Okay, thanks. Bye. Who is
Hey,
this?
thanks, bye. Love you.
Who is this?
What is this?
None of us are saved each other's phones at all.
So, funnily enough, the first time I ever felt an earthquake was when I was recovering from bottom surgery, and there was that massive earthquake in it was in New Jersey or in New York. I was like in my Airbnb like a week and a half out from surgery when that happened. I remember just sitting there and like the whole building shaking,
Wow.
and I'm like, I can barely walk. This is fun.
I would be like, is
Earth-shaking
this like the weird
revelation.
tingles that happen? Am I just feeling like the weird like nerve reconnecting tingles? Like, no, definitely earthquake. Okay.
The nerve reconnecting tingles shook the whole country.
I mean,
Dang, you got some powerful,
they really do.
powerful energy in that.
Girl, I had one the other day and I'm like, you stop it. We've done this. We've been done. We're not doing this again. And
That shit
she was
sucks.
like, tingle.
It still hits me and I scream occasionally in the office.
Yeah.
I'll be working, I just
Yeah.
and I'm like, everyone's like, are you okay?
Yeah,
and I'm
that's
like,
the noise. Yep.
it just goes from a
It's the same
0 to
noise.
like a 9 out of 10 pain, and it lasts for a second and a half, and then it's gone.
Ugh, it's the worst when you're
Horrifying.
driving and you're like,
Yep.
oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So yeah, anyway, earthquakes. Text me. Okay.
I mean, you can text me too, but I won't feel it over here.
Yeah. Be like, hey, Celeste, are you having a nerve reconnection feeling right now? Or
It's
is it
like, oh
just an
shit, I
earthquake?
did.
Celeste, is your pussy tingling? Mine is.
Oh my god. Oh, you too.
We got to be careful. It's always tingling at this point.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Girls.
Oh my
Sorry,
god.
not
Oh
sorry.
my god. Girls, calm down. Calm down.
Gird your
This is a
loins.
family show.
Is it?
Yeah.
Hey, no swearing on my Christian Minecraft server.
God. What?
And that's the name of the episode.
What? Yeah, it is now. What do you even do on a Christian Minecraft server?
You
Aside
craft
from nothing.
and
Don't swear.
mine and
All right, I
make
walked
friends.
into that one.
No, you can't. You craft and you mine.
And make friends.
Make friends.
And you talk about Christians. I guess. I don't know. I've never been on a Christian Minecraft server. I don't know what they get up to there. Sounds terrifying. Do they build little synagogues out of blocks? I guess synagogues is Jewish.
I'm imagining little libraries inside the church, and like the books that you can write, they've written out like the entire Bible that you pull out into the books.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know
Anyway,
much about the Bible.
let's see.
I think I was born witchy and stayed witchy. Yeah.
Proud of you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm
I'm very
Jealous. I'm
I know.
jealous.
Not to brag to. I know you had a whole episode devoted to that, to the cult stuff.
Yeah, we already talked about
We talked
that.
about it. Yeah. Not to brag,
We
but
did.
like I wasn't forced into a religion and I got to choose what I wanted, and right away I knew it was going to be witchcraft. I'm
Not to brag, but I know
Not to brag.
so much about the Bible that when I go to church, if you've seen that scene from Parks and Rec where Nick Offerman goes to Home Depot and they're like, "Hi, can I help you with your project?" And he says,
I know more than you.
That's
Yeah.
me whenever I go to church. Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
It really takes deconstruction to know everything about a topic, though, I think. So kudos to you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think that deconstructing religion can be very similar to deconstructing gender for some people, where you're
Yes.
realizing that a lot of the things that you kind of expected that you were going to do and expected that was important to you, you find out, oh, that's not actually necessarily true. And so I'm thankful that I was able to go through one before the other and didn't have to do like them both at the same time, because that probably would have been really rough.
Speed
Yeah.
run that
And
shit.
I feel like doing one prepared me for the other. Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing I'm thankful for, I'm happy that I had Christianity shoved down my throat and then had to deconstruct it, because I love religious horror now in a way I never would have before.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know what's one of my favorite horror movies? The Witch.
Yeah, I have a tattoo of it on my leg.
That's awesome.
I love that. I love that for
I
you.
love that too.
Yeah, it's great. Fantastic. Let's see.
It's just me. It's a picture of me.
Do we want
It should
I
be.
just went through all
I have a
this.
tattoo
I'm
of
very
Riv.
witchy. Yeah. Okay.
I have a tattoo of Riv, the witch.
The Witch.
Yeah. Spelled with 2 V's. River with 2 V's. Oh, that's good. I should have done that.
Wither.
River. River. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Do you just put the 2 V's at the front or in the middle?
This feels like a trap. I don't know why.
WWIVER. Wither. Sorry.
Sounds like wyvern. Like wyvern.
That's pretty cool.
Like a dragon.
Mhm. That's pretty cool.
does.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
In many ways,
Squirrel.
we are dragons.
Yes.
Who even knows what's happening at this point? We're like 8
Yeah.
layers deep.
Yes.
We are 8 layers deep in irony. Let's refocus. Are we do we have a particular topic that we feel strongly about talking about?
Well, I know we probably want to talk a little bit about the elephant in the room. That's a GOP pun, my dudes. At some point, do you want to do it sooner or later?
Let's just go ahead and get that out of the way.
Yeah. So something really
Share
bad
your
happened.
thoughts.
Just in case, just to kind of recap here, something really bad happened during the election, and it was the whole election, basically. That was bad. Yeah, there were too many people that are shitty and decided to vote against a lot of rights of birthing people, all minorities, any kind of group that is, not having a great time. One of those being trans people, and they campaigned on how trans people are going to steal your kids and give them bottom surgery, which is just great, because if you don't know, it takes so much convincing and so many loopholes as an adult to get any kind of gender affirming surgery, which does save lives. And that shit is wretched. They pulled that. They've got people thinking that the population of the US of trans people is 20%.
Which is
And
insanity.
It's 1%, maybe a little bit more for not including people who didn't want to respond to a census, because I can understand exactly why they wouldn't want to, because holy shit, y'all, it's scary. That's my automatic light. Let me change it back.
Nice, beautiful.
Thanks.
It's been one of those things where when you're looking at kind of the historical patterns, this kind of fits into a historical pattern of the dominant party. If we think of the Democrats, they're not listening to the needs of the people. And so a populist voice saying, I'm going to make things better, things are going to be different, and all of their policies that they propose are going to make things worse, people will vote for change even if they don't know what that change is going to be. I think that there was a lot of misinformation and a lot of information silos that people fell into in this one. I think that the way that social media has kind of ruined our ability to have conversations about this has been very detrimental to the whole world. And I think that we're going to be in for a really rough time for a little bit. The one good thing is that totalitarian regimes do not have the capacity to last for forever. So this will be a season, but
Yeah.
it's going to be interesting to see how much damage is done and how long it affects the rest of
Yeah.
our lives.
Yeah. And
The
when we had
positive
this
that I
happen
see
before,
is that
it when it happened before, we had similar shit with social media happening, and it just got worse over time. It didn't ever
Mhm.
resolve the issue of
It's
social
just gotten
media
worse.
creating silos and misinformation and zucking everything. Sorry, continue. You had a pause, and I thought
Sucking and
you were
mucking.
done, so I jumped in.
I will say that the fact that we are more visible as people, as trans people, as queer people in general,
Yeah,
and that there are like very definite spaces where we have allies, where we have support. And that's good for us of those of us who live in like a blue state where we might have more protection, but that does not help the people who are in the red states where their rights are just being eroded and taken away.
yeah,
After the election, Handmaid's Tale was on the bestseller list for a while for a reason. Once again, because there's nothing new here, and we kind of can understand a little bit what to expect, and we can start creating, and people are already building support networks, mutual aid, anarchist communities who are helping and taking care of each other. And I think that that's going to be the way that we thrive in this antagonistic system, is
yeah.
through helping each other and not relying on a um, government that we don't expect to help us.
If you can get involved in your local community, get involved even in politics locally if you can. If you're not safe to do so or you can't do so, um, we've got some channels that offer some support network options. Please share in there and contribute on our Discord server if you can, or find other ones. There are some other great nonprofits out there that are doing some great work. Like Trevor Project, obviously, is a big one, but it's going to be a really rocky time. And while Trump, insert bleep here, is an egotistical maniac, he's also really shitty at his job. Um, every single day you hear about him golfing, don't complain. That's one day that he's not doing anything to harm people. Um, and there are already laws in place that will take some time to break down to harm folks on the federal level. Um, but I know people are migrating across the U.S. They're wanting to migrate out of the U.S. I understand that completely. If you can get to a blue state, if you're not safe in a red state, go for it. If you can migrate to a different country and you can do that easily, go for it. It's really hard to do that. It's way easier to get to a blue state. And Washington, Oregon, other states have Minnesota. They're all going to be states that are safe to be in and have some of those laws in place already to protect um, refugees from red states on a variety of levels. But I'm hopeful that this narcissist will do the same thing that he did last time, which was cannibalize the entire cabinet. And y'all, he's not right in the head, and we knew that known that for a while, and he's gotten worse in the head. And hopefully that works in our favor.
Which I don't know. I think that kind of makes him more dangerous. And the other thing that I'm worried about is that
It's fair.
he the party that surrounds him and the religious zealotry that goes into that is very
Yeah.
concerning to me. And the Project 2025 stuff, seeing that start to become realized, is going to be extremely scary.
Yeah. Yeah.
So get connected with your local community, find the other people who are taking care of each other, find the helpers, like Mr. Rogers used to say, because there's always helpers in every single crisis situation. Find them and work with them.
Yeah. I've been mostly quiet so far, but I'm like, I'm going to echo everything both of you are saying. Like, I'm with you completely. In some ways, I have a hard time interfacing with the topic as a whole just because it's so broad, and I don't even know what else I'm going for there, but it can be
Overwhelming, maybe?
overwhelming in a sense, but like I'm politically connected. Like I understand like the systems and how they work. It's not a sense of ignorance of what I guess overwhelms me. It's just so much, and it's so hard to take it all in at once. And but yeah, like both of you said, find local communities. If you can, find another state that's safe to be in. I can echo Vermont is also a fantastic state to move to as well.
I feel like lots of places in New England are.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much all of New England except New Hampshire.
Called out New Hampshire.
West Coast, Best Coast.
Well, I'm not picking favorites here.
I get snow, so I win.
That's true. We get like 1 day of snow, and then everyone loses their minds, and then it's
I
gone
am
the next
looking
day.
forward to the winter.
Yeah.
Winter is a good season.
Yeah. There is this wonderful article. I think it was just I forget who it was, and someone shared it in our Discord server. Once again, shameless plug, Discord server. It's great. Go look at it now. We've got a whole section about the election that is siloed off. So if you don't want to hear about it in the main group chat, you can ignore it, maintain your mental health, and if you want to dive in, you can dive into the actual forum about it. It's a great article someone shared of a trans femme person who has a Substack and knows quite a bit about the process politically, and laid everything out of like, here are the things that could happen, here are the things that are unlikely to happen, here are the reasons why, here are the barriers to the agenda that they want to put in place, here are some things that could work for us or against us. It really helped me stop freaking out. And
Yeah.
I think it also helped me understand like, where does the effort need to go in any kind of support for our community. And I hope that maybe we can share it. Maybe I'll share it in the link too for our description, but
In the show notes.
in the show notes. Maybe I'll have to get her approval first for that. I don't know, but it's been really helpful for a lot of people. And there have been some folks on social media who've been spiraling, and I'm like, hey, this article that someone shared for me, I'm sharing with you. Read all of it. I hope it helps you get grounded, and it usually does. So I think it's a good thing to share. I will probably put it in the show notes after I get after I get an okay from the author. I'm sure she would be okay with it, but
I do want to say, like, I think it's easy to spiral and be feeling hopeless and depressed, but I don't think that that's where we should be right now. And I think that there's a lot of hope that is hard to see, maybe, because it's easy to catastrophize when you're seeing the results and seeing how things are going. But there are also some really, really encouraging signs and some really exciting signs. Like, for example, we have the first trans representative in the House, nationally in Congress. Yeah, which is super, super cool. And so, there's definitely going to be struggles along the way, but I think that in the long term, when we look back at this season, we will see it for the season that it is, rather than the all-encompassing like dread that maybe a lot of people are feeling right now.
Yep.
And they say this too shall pass, and everything. So don't lose hope, and be excited for the chances and opportunities that we do have. I don't know. That's what I try to tell myself, and I think that it helps me keep a better attitude.
For sure.
Yeah.
100%.
Besides, we wouldn't even be having this conversation if we were like in a position where we didn't need to have it.
It's true.
And the fact that we're able to have this conversation and sit the three of us down and talk about it. Ooh, that's nice. Ooh.
Right? Right.
Y'all got a friend in me.
And cue the song.
No one gets back home.